Hello. Today what I want to do is share this poncho with you by One Tigress. It's called the Transformer Poncho because to me it's more or less a shelter that transforms into a poncho. So I don't have all the specs on this. I'll leave a link where you can go check those out. I just wanted to share with you what this is and how it sets up as a shelter. It's a poncho, transforms into a shelter, but like I said, for me, this here would be a shelter that transforms into a poncho. Reason why is because of how this sets up as a shelter. I could see it being used and carried as a survival shelter. And if it started raining and such, you could stay under it, but if you had to move, then you have a poncho. So you have your rain gear and your shelter all in one. So let's take it out of the pouch first, the bag. It comes with stakes and guy lines. And what I like about this, it fits back in the bag rather nicely and it's not huge. So I carried it in a haversack. So I'm just going to toss that over there. This is the shelter right here and the poncho. Now put this on as a poncho. I'll put the hood on. Put my sleeves out. And then it has a zipper right up the center. So I'll find that real quick here. Snag-free zippers. As you see, it zips up quite far. But it also has these shock cords here that you can tighten up as well if you like. And it also has your Velcro here. But that's how it goes. Now this here, when you tighten it up, the shock cords kind of tighten this part here up over. So then you have a good brim here so you don't get wet. Now you can see the way the arms are here. Normally when I'm in a poncho, I don't have my arms out because your hands and such would get wet. I put them inside, and when I need to use my arms, then I'll bring them out. Because as you see, you could get a little wet, but this here hangs down further than a lot of them. Also, I'll show you how far it hangs down by your feet. So there it is there. As you see, it almost goes right to my feet. Now, if I didn't want all this, I could always put a belt around here if I wanted to. But it's great having this excess because then you can put a pack on and this covers your pack as well. Now this isn't pretty as a poncho in my opinion, but pretty doesn't matter to me. Functionality does. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to set this up as a shelter. Now what they've given you is 6 stakes and 3 guidelines. So what I'm going to do first is they also have shock cord on here. I'm going to put 1 stake into the ground directly in the back. That's going to hold that. Now I'm going to work in the front. So what I've done is I've tied 1 guideline right here on a tab that's on the brim. That would have been the hood. So right underneath here, it's reinforced and such that I can put my trekking pole, in this case my walking stick, right in there, and now I can fasten this out. Now keep that taut and then do the other sides. So I'm just going to stick this in the ground. wrap this around and adjust this. Just like that. Oh, gotta adjust it a little bit more. Make sure that's hooked in underneath. Like that. Now, that may fall over right now, but that's gonna hold once I actually stake the other corners. So I've staked that other side, and now I can pull this tight and stake this side like that. And now I'm going to show you the back side, because there's a couple more places I can put these other two stakes here, and I think they should have added 2 more stakes, and I'll show you why. Now, as you see, this really brings us out once you do this. Put another one right here, like that, and then another one on that side. Now, this is what I was talking about right here. Now, these things actually come up. They give lots of airflow in here, but it also helps with rain and such, and it lifts it up. So, they give you 2 guidelines, but you should either have a couple more stakes that you carry with you, which I have plenty, or you can make a couple out here. It's not a big deal. But what I would do is bring this out here. I'll put a stick about this height. Instead of just bringing it straight down to the ground, I want it held up. So I'll put a stick up here, just like basically I used my walking stick. I put another stick out here, and then take and wrap the guideline on here, around the stick, and then stake it to the ground. I'll show you what I mean by doing this one here, and then you'll get the meaning of what I'm talking about. So I've got a stick here. Just gonna stick that in the ground. I'll tie my line to the tab here that's provided on the sleeve, like that. Come over. Now I can either wrap it around like this and just go down to the ground, or however you feel like doing it. So I'm just going to do that for now. Just like that. That's just going to give more room, and you can do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to show you what it looks like and how much room's inside. Like I said, this makes a very nice shelter. It's roughly around 4 feet right in the center, but my walking stick's a little shorter. It's according on how high you want it for yourself. You can adjust it up and down and so on. So a very good feature. Now, if you are fortunate to have a tree like this, you can just pull this out and tie it to a tree as well. So, kind of fortunate there. But what makes this a good shelter, in my opinion, I can put this right up in a field. I don't have to have trees and such. In a lot of my shelters, you have to have trees or bring wood out or something that you can use for support. This one here can use a trekking pole, so it does have support in the center, but you can find an old piece of driftwood, you can set this up. So as you see, I have all kinds of room in length. I could easily stuff a backpack up in there, my gear. I could lower this in case it did rain hard as well, but it protects you from shade. I could sit up, have myself a little fire out there if I needed to. I'm still going to get the warmth. I mean, I can actually sit up in it as well. Like I said, you can put this higher, but my walking stick's only so high. This here is not set up on even ground. And out here, it's hard to find even ground. So this is a perfect setup for this. And I'm also 6'1". So you have a lot of coverage here. This here would make a decent shelter for carrying for a survival situation because you have that open front. You can put a fire out front if you needed to. It is somewhat rounded as well, so that's going to trap the heat. But you can take it, throw it over, throw it on, and move if it is raining. So I just thought it was a cool option. And is it the ultimate survival poncho shelter? That's up to you. Me, I think it's a good choice. So I want to thank you for watching. Enjoy the summer the best you can. And everyone stay safe. Take care.